Okay, cool. At this point now, honestly, the questions I'm willing to ask over here is, why have we broken the laws? Why have we violated the structural laws over here? That's the first question I'm asking. So, of course, we do understand that there is obviously liquidity below this break of structure. So obviously, as soon as you start to violate the laws of these wicks, this was our double bottom down here, very strong area. We have been holding this for such a long time. Honestly, we had our first rejection on the 28th, and then the second one on the 30th, and now this is the third time. At this time, we actually ended up breaking the wicks. So a lot of stop losses were below these. We saw a massive push to the downside. Guys, please, everyone, just mute yourself, because I can hear myself back. I don't know how. If you guys don't mind, thank you. And let's just start this as well. Okay. So at this point, honestly, the question I'm willing to ask is, okay, cool. At this point, we have liquidity in the market. In order for us to actually kind of like break out this consolidation, we do need a lot of liquidity in the market, right? As you guys can see, same thing played out here. Because we had liquidity in the market, we broke out of all the structural lows and we retested this key area. We had such a massive push to the top side. Exact same thing played out here, but this time there wasn't enough liquidity because we didn't violate any lows, right? The liquidity was actually coming from the top side. So because of this liquidity grab from the top side, we had such a massive drop to the downside, right? You guys can see we broke out of this range. We were within this range for some time. We were playing around this range, broke out of it, retested the next area. At this point, I had such a massive drop to the downside. Then this kind of became our correction of this whole move down. And so after that, obviously we started to range within this sort of consolidation once again, and now we have come down to break the lows once again. But look at the daily candle at this point now. The way the daily candle has violated these lows, honestly, I was expecting gold to drop a little bit more, but looking at the intraday time frame now, right, you gotta understand, cool, what's happening. Look at the previous candle as well. Even though it closed with a little bit of a rejection from this resistance area, there wasn't a big enough bottom wick yesterday. So this candle pretty much is doing what the previous candle should have done anyway. But again, you gotta understand, at this point now we're starting to reject once again. This is kind of where we closed previously. So now at this point now, if we start turning this 1781 area into some sort of support, start breaking the current daily highs, at that point the next wick becomes our destination, which is the previous daily wick. So I can see gold starting to push up from here as well. But this is the question I'll be looking to ask today. This 4-hour candle now has broken the highs of the previous 4-hour candle as well. Usually this area here does hold as a pullback area, so obviously we are forming lower lows and lower highs. Everyone can see that. So the two questions I'm willing to ask today is, this 4-hour candle here, is this our pullback candle? So, you know, this whole move to the downside. So is this a correction candle at this point, not to start forming a new leg down? Or is this our liquidity grab to start pushing all the way to the top side now, to kind of like, you know, go all the way to retest these highs, which we have at 1800, which we did expect to see earlier as well. But everything looks quite bearish on gold, right? But again, we are scalpers, we trade intraday time frames, so we have to see what's happening on the intraday time frames. We need to kind of like, you know, need to understand what the bigger picture is, but again, not focus on the bigger picture too much that we start to confuse our, you know, current time frame. So that's why bigger picture is good to see. Always do our analysis, you know, at the end of the week, start of the week. That's needed, right, to understand the bigger picture. But now we need to focus on the daily candle. What's the daily candle doing? We understand the daily candle can potentially push up about 200 pips in one direction. This one's pushed up about 160-ish pips altogether. So let's say the wick to the top side is quite tiny as well. At this point now, we're seeing a massive rejection from the downside. Potentially, even if you see a push to the next level, which is about 1787, which is quite realistic, we can really see that happening now. So when our session opens now, honestly, I'm looking to see if we can start holding this area here as some sort of support and start turning 1778 in some sort of support as well. And at that point, we can honestly take it up. I'm really looking to take gold up today because of this liquidity that we have in the market now. If this area here now, which is pretty much, you can see, like, usually gold will turn this area here into some sort of pullback area, right? You guys gonna understand that this is your usually, like, looking to the left now, like most recently, this is your pullback area. So at this point now, if we wanted to obviously start going down, this area would have held as the resistance area. So if we start closing above this now and start turning this into some sort of support, at that point there's nothing stopping us from going all the way up. Honestly, at that point, obviously the first range will become your 4-hour highs, the previous 4-hour highs. Obviously that would be your first destination. So the 4-hour highs are all the way up here. That would be your first destination, obviously. And as soon as you start to clear that, guess what, you're really clean traffic. Looking to the left, as soon as you start turning this into some sort of support, you see a rocket ship of a candle, honestly. We can definitely see this resistance here being hit, which is quite a nice range, about 100 pips to the top side. At that point, we're going to start to violate the daily highs as well. I can really see that happening. Really can see that happening. But again, we will have to wait for that pullback, right? Because first of all, we need to understand, is this a rejection or is this just a pullback now? So if this is a rejection, why is this a rejection? Because we're forming lower lows and lower highs. Understand one thing though, guys. The momentum candle, this is the only momentum candle we have seen recently, and it was a bullish candle, and then this move to the downside kind of came down for the liquidity. So at this point now, we've grabbed liquidity, right? So now this is what we're looking to see. Because of the liquidity, is the pullback really aggressive? That's why are we seeing this sort of, you know, aggressive pullback, retesting this resistance up here? Or if this is not a pullback and this is us actually grabbing liquidity to go to the top side, we have to start marking out the next area. Okay, where do we usually see a lot of buying momentum kick in from? I can see this will be my first area to look out for. I can see a really massive push from here, and even looking to the left, you can probably see a lot of rejections from this area. You can see usually a lot of buyers are sitting here. And looking at the most current price action now, if we actually go down to the hourly to give us more information, this was the last bit of a rejection area we had. And looking to the left as well, this becomes your pullback zone. So if this holds as a pullback now, we should start forming lower lows and lower highs below 1779, because we are quite, you know, bearish for forming lower lows and lower highs. At that point, we can definitely take it down as well, most definitely. And usually, what's that zone where we see buyers taking control from? Usually down here. So if you actually look at this now, this is that last bit of an area where you see rejections from. So we start to clear this, we start to turn this area into some sort of resistance, we can most definitely see sales playing out, because everything at the moment on the bigger picture is quite bearish. Gold is quite bearish, the weekly candle is bearish, everything is bearish. We have liquidity below the structure lows. So we have violated the lows of all the candles, and obviously we do have liquidity below this because this is your intraday time frame, right? But you gotta understand, the most amount of liquidity is below these structure lows, and even if we do violate the structure lows just to come down for liquidity, we still are not violating the uptrend structure, because this is where you started the uptrend from. Look at that, this was your first low, and then this became your high low. So you guys gotta understand, until we start breaking below this, we are technically still not violating the structure lows. But what we can do is we can come down for liquidity to the downside. Looking at the monthly time frame as well, you guys can see got really tiny wick. And that's the thing, at this point now, we could potentially come down and then grab some liquidity, and then hopefully after retesting this support area here, from here start to see a massive push to the top side. Because look at the way the monthly candles are closing as well. This candle here was a rocket ship after grabbing all of this, violating the structure highs, and then again had a really massive rejection from here. And usually when the rejections do start from here, you can see we usually come down heavily. We see a lot of momentum kick into the downside. So looking at the intraday time frame again, look at this, we're starting to go you know, quite bearish once again. You can see, you know, bears are taking control once again. Let's look at your 4-hour time frame. Look at this, starting to reject this same area. So honestly now, sales make a lot of sense in my opinion. Look at your, oh, look at this massive candle at this point as well. Honestly, massive candle. So honestly, we start turning this into some sort of resistance, I'll be a happy man. I'm looking to take this down. Got another 4 minutes left. Let's just see how it prints out. But I can really see the sales playing out. If we hold this level as a resistance now, I can really see the sales playing out. Because you guys gotta understand, we are quite bearish at the moment. We're forming lower lows and lower highs, and I kind of do want gold to come down a little bit. on the bigger time frames as well. I wanted to come down to grab this liquidity, and then after that we can see a lot of momentum kick into the market, because you guys can understand the month that we are in now, you're gonna see the momentum will start to slow down, especially next month as well. So now you need as much liquidity as possible. We do have unemployment claims at half 1 as well when our session starts, so hopefully with that we can see more momentum kick in. So let's just see what happens. Should be a good day today though. Obviously we will wait for the first 5 minutes and don't want to jump in straight away unless obviously I see something good. I will be technically waiting. So we're at that mid-range as well. We're about to approach this support area, so if we can start turning this into some sort of resistance now, we can really see a nice clean drop to the downside. But again, as I said, we're fluid in the market, so given up both scenarios, we can take it up as well as down. So let's just see what makes more sense as soon as our session starts to open. But this is a really nice candle as well. Look at this bearish candle, kind of like engulfing 1 2 3 4 almost 5 candles, almost 5 bullish candles. And this is momentum, one momentum traders. We're looking to see where the momentum is, and if we start closing below this now, I would just want to see some sort of retracement back up to potentially 7.6, and then from there more momentum to kick into the downside, and we can most definitely take it down. Most definitely, even though we haven't violated the structural laws just yet for, you know, technically the bullish push to the top side, you gotta understand the level that we are still holding. You gotta understand we didn't close above this, we didn't turn this into some sort of support at this point now. Again, yes, technically this can be correction, but we are quite bearish on gold. So today I would not expect anything like this to be a correction. I'm really expecting gold to really drop heavily. Got another 2 minutes left. But that's the question that we are asking today is this a liquidity grab to push up, and this bearish move to the downside, is this our kind of like, you know, pullback retracement, correcting 50% of this move to push all the way to the top side, or are we going to start dumping now? And that's it. But I can really see gold dropping today, man. Like heavy drop, heavy drop, because it's been calling for it. Even yesterday I was expecting it to drop. It didn't drop whatsoever, so it has to do that today, right? Has to. We just need momentum to kick in. That's it, really. If the momentum kicks in, we can probably see a really nice drop to the you know, all the way down to 69. Cool. At this point now, you gotta understand. Okay, I'm gonna keep my eyes on the 1 minute on my MetaTrader 5. I do want to look at the hourly time frame as well, so I'll keep the hourly on my trading view. Let's look at the hourly again. This is the open now. Obviously it's got to create an upper wick as well as a bottom wick, and then from there we actually do have a upper wick at this point as well. So because we have a lot of momentum, there is news event. Let's just see how this plays out. Honestly, might be able to see how this plays out and might be able to capitalize on an entry if we start to close and just start to basically push all the way to the downside. So at this point now we're pushing down, right? So again, let's just see how this candle closes. Are we going to close with a rejection? Are we going to close as an engulfing bearish candle? Because we are tapping some sort of area to the left where we see significant amount of buyers take control at this area. That's the thing, right? So let's just see what happens now. If we can start closing engulfing at this point now, and the next one starts breaking the lows as well, we can most definitely look to take it down. Let's just wait though. Let's see how the next candle opens as well. If it's still bearish, at that point, most definitely can look to take it down. Might be looking to take an entry soon though, guys. This point, look, just at a tiny bit of a rejection. Might be look to take an entry here, guys, to the downside. Let's just see if it starts breaking its own lows again. The minute candle, I'm most definitely taking it down. So again, we've tapped into that rejection area. So if we start to break its own lows again now after retesting the highs, I'm taking this down. Until then, this can be that bullish engulfing candle to come up to form that upper wick, which we are expecting, right? But now if we just retest this and start breaking its own lows, I'm taking this all the way to the downside, honestly, because it makes sense, right? We have a lot of momentum in the market now, quite bearish on gold, but first of all, of course, we don't have the upper wick just yet. On the 30 minutes, we have a tiny bit of an upper wick. Again, there is momentum. If the momentum is to the downside, after tapping this area, you are expecting those rejections, right? Those pullbacks. But now, the pullback should form the upper wick, and we should start coming all the way up. So now, if the pullback does obviously hold, and we start breaking the lows once again, at that point, we're coming down. Very plain and simple, we're coming down. So let's just see what sort of momentum we have. This is our resistance area here as well. We should really start to see momentum kick into the top side now, honestly. Let's just see how it plays out. See again, momentum's kicking into the top side now. This area is holding. So let's just see. If it breaks its own lows, I will be looking to take our trade to the downside now. Until then, expecting some sort of pullbacks. And potentially, let's see if we can start tapping 776. From there, maybe some sort of rejections can kick in. But at the moment, we need to start forming that upper wick because we have a really, really tiny upper wick. Have a lot of momentum in the market though. So if we do start breaking below this once again, at that point you can see sales playing out. But at this point, look, this area, oh, what's happened here? Oh, hold on a second. What did I do? Oh, that's why. Okay, look, tapping into this area at this point now. Look at that. Tapping into that area at this point now. Again, wanna wait, see how price reacts around this because we have an upper wick. We're tapping into that resistance area at this point as well. This area here is really crucial. That's why I've not taken any setups just yet. I want to see how price reacts because either this is going to be your retest to start dropping down, or you're going to see momentum kick into the top side as well, and bias can also play out from here. So I really do want to see how price reacts around this area, honestly, because this is a crucial area. From here, a lot of selling momentum can kick into the downside. Let's just wait. But if we do honestly start turning this into some sort of support and see a really massive candle to the top side above here, you can see a lot of momentum kick into the top side as well, because you have momentum due to this session as well as the news. So this here becomes a really crucial touch here. Now you have the upper wick, which we were waiting for. Let's see if we can see some momentum kicking out to the downside. Look at your daily time frame as well. It's still above the support level that we have. So let's just see what happens. If we start holding this level at this point now, technically are coming up to the daily time frame, right? Because that's the question we have been asking so far. Is this a pullback or is this a rejection to start making more lower lows and lower highs? Because we have liquidity in the market as well. So let's just wait. I want to wait for the first 5 minutes just to see what happens. The way this is starting to print out, looking like a beast so far. But this level here, I really do want to be careful around this level though. I'm willing to take a late entry today, to be honest. But also, let's input some risk on magic keys, about 0.5% if we can do that. Okay, look, at this point now, you have the rejection from here. You're getting a little bit of a rejection at this point now. Really do want to see where the momentum is, because this kind of becomes our range at this point, right? These are the highs of the range and the downside of the range. So at this point now, if we start breaking above the range, I would want to see a pullback and then from there take it back up. Until then, I'm literally just waiting to see how price reacts around this range, because from here, as I said, sales can start to play out as well, and you're starting to see a lot of momentum kick into the downside. But again, this area here needs to be violated first. You want to see something like this, a rejection from here, starting to break below this, and then sales can technically play out. This is the new 5-minute open as well, so it needs to form an upper wick as well as a bottom wick. So look, it has a tiny bit of an upper wick. Now it's again rejecting from the same area, so wanna be sitting on my hands for a little bit and wait for the extra bit of confirmation. Because either way from here we can take gold up or down, but just have to wait. Because this whole move has been to the top side, and this can technically become the correction to start pushing up. So that's why this area here, 774, is really crucial for me. I kind of want to see price starting to break below this. Because of this area, you guys can see a lot of buy orders out here. So really do want to see us now breaking below this once again. At that point, you can say, okay, now you're breaking this for the second time. After retesting the resistance, forming an upper wick, which is sustainable, you can now start taking gold down. And I'll look to potentially take one position here, another position as soon as we see a retest and break for the second time. Let's just see what happens though. At the moment, the momentum so far is to the top side. If you look at the minute structure as well, the momentum is to the top side. So you want to see an engulfing bearish candle starting to engulf everything to the left. Okay, this candle is starting to look decent. I'm going to turn my magic keys on again. Let's just see how we are reacting around this area. Let's see how the new candle opens as well. Okay, so far we got momentum to the downside at this point now. Again, want to wait for this area to first break. And then obviously, because this is the area now where we got a rejection from, so we start breaking below this, I'm going to take an impulsive entry. Until then, this can just be that retest, second retest to start taking it up. But start breaking below this, I'm taking an entry. Gold is bound to come down today, that's for sure. And I can really see sales playing out below this area. Until then, this technically becomes a pullback, and we can see gold going up as well. So I really do want to see this being violated for the second time now, and I want to see the momentum kick in as well. So I don't want to see just price slowly approaching the lows and then retesting the lows. I want to see the lows being violated with a lot of momentum. I want to see a massive bearish engulfing candle closing below the support area that we have formed. So like kind of like breaking below the support area, closing below the support area, at that point giving me some probability to the downside. If it starts to print these sort of candles here, these tiny candles, I'm going to kind of wait and sit on my hands. And below this, we have a really nice range as well, all the way down to pretty much like 40-50 pips, easy 40-50 pip range. So let's see how it plays out. Again, see the way the candles are literally just printing. It's just looking like some sort of pullback. This whole move is looking like a pullback. So I want to see an engulfing bearish candle, kind of engulfing everything to the left. That's what I'm looking for. So another 2 minutes left as well for the new 5 minute to open. Hopefully with that we can see more momentum kick in, but most probably we're going to see a lot of momentum kick in with the next 15 minute open. Until then it might just like chill around here. Okay, this might just be it now. I'm gonna use dynamic risk on this, maybe take one impulsive entry below this and then wait for that second retest and break to take another entry. But at the moment the candles are printing quite tiny candles. I want to see a massive bearish candle, otherwise you're going to see something like this and it's going to take it all the way to the top side. So exactly, see something like this area is still holding, so that's where you want to see this being broken. Otherwise, again, the momentum is going to be to the top side. But again, I would not be looking for a buy position until we start to break above this, start turning this into some sort of support. Because from here, you can see a lot of momentum does kick into the top side. You guys can see something like this. Honestly, a lot of momentum can kick into the top side from here. Until then, just have to wait, sit on our hands, because we are within a consolidation. Oh, this is it. Starting to look really good at this point now. This minute candle. Let's see how it reacts around the next area. Okay, it's about to break the highs. Quickly just going to mark the highs because I want to see if we can start turning these highs into some sort of support now and start breaking to the top side. That'll be amazing entry to the top side, exactly like this. Nice. Still waiting to see this candle now, how much momentum it has. Is it going to hold above 776.09? At that point, I'm going to put my stop loss below the current structure lows and take this all the way to the top side. Because again, we have liquidity in the market. I'm going to look to take a position here, guys. As soon as it pushes up a little bit more, I'm going to execute on this as soon as we start breaking these highs over here. Let me show you guys. These highs over here, if they start breaking now, we're going up. Nothing is stopping us above this. I'm taking a position, honestly. This is the last bit of an area from here. Okay, this is it now. About to break to the top side. I'm going to look to execute on a buy position again. As I said, we have liquidity in the market, and this is pretty much becoming a pullback now. And the next area we are approaching, if we start chilling above there, nothing is stopping us from coming all the way to the top side. But we need to break this here because you see a lot of momentum kicking to the downside from here. So if we start breaking above that, we're going all the way to the top side, honestly. And this is it. Okay, I'm going to be in this position now. I'm going to move my TP up there. Stop loss is below the structure lows, obviously. Dynamic risk position. I'm going to look to double up after seeing a retest and break again. Okay, okay, cool. At this point now in this position, and let's just see how it plays out. Looking to scale in on this position, but entry is basically just here. I want to see it pull back a little bit more, and then after that start to push back up again. But let's see if we can see that. And stop loss obviously below the structure. Kind of want to see now a tapping up this area. From there I want to see some sort of pullbacks and then start to break its own highs again. At that point we should be good, but as long as we're staying above this is a probability to the top side. It's a good probability trade, but due to this massive push to the top side, now we need to see some sort of correction, some sort of retest. At that point I can look to enter with more risk. But yeah, gonna be going in with dynamic risk once again, so I can take better entries. So if it comes down, potentially gives me more confirmations, I can look to take a 1% risk position. But so far so good. You have probability to the top side once again. Look at your 4-hour. You gotta understand it's starting to chill above this area now. This is such a crucial area. You've broken out of that consolidation. Look at your 30-minute time frame as well. Honestly, the way gold is starting to chill above this area now, 776. From here you're gonna see, if we start holding this area as some sort of support, you're gonna see a massive correction all the way to the top side, because price attempted to break 2 times to the downside. Every time we failed to break, you saw a lot of momentum kick into the top side now. But again, you want to see some sort of pullback now, retesting potentially about 775, and then from there momentum kick into the top side. At that point I'll look to enter another position and make it full 1% risk. I want it to come down a little bit more and potentially start pushing up from this area here. If we can see that happening, that'll be an amazing entry, the second entry. This is it. It's starting to look like it's about rejecting now. We might be seeing a rocket ship of a candle now. Let's just see how it prints out, honestly. Let's just see how it prints out. Again, the second position, if it does start to play out now, I might be having a tiny bit of a stop loss. But I want to wait for that confirmation. Now we're retesting these lows. I want to see an engulfing bearish candle. Again, I want to see momentum kick into the top side. I don't want to see anything like this. I want to see a momentum candle. Again, another 2 minutes left. With the next 2 minutes, you're expecting the momentum to kick in. But do you want to see some sort of a pullback? And then with the next 15-minute open, I want to see it push all the way to the top side. The thing is, we are momentum traders, right? As I said, even though we understand what the bigger picture is, let's just look at the 4-hour time frame. We have liquidity in the market now. And if the price is failing to break to the downside, well, guess what? We're going up, right? It's so simple. We attempted to break to the downside, just didn't want to play out. So another minute now, I'm not going to look to scale in just yet. I'm going to look to scale in with the next minute, because otherwise I can potentially get wicked out. But if now the 15-minute can form a nice bump wick, that can give me a nice stop loss for the second entry. And I'll move the stop loss below that for the first entry as well. So let's just wait and see what the next 15-minute does. The next 15 minutes should give us that push to the top side, aggressive push to the top side. And yeah. And if this plays out, we can easily see a push all the way to 81. And above that, again, we got really clean traffic, but would look to secure something around 80 though. 80, 81. And let the rest just run. But this is the 15-minute. I want it to come down a little bit. Give us the bump wick first. So then technically I can scale in. Otherwise, I'm not looking to scale in if this does not give me that bump wick, because I can use the bump wick as a stop loss. So I need the bump wick. So I need it to push down all the way down to at least this support area, and then from there start to reject and give us that sustainable sort of bump wick. So I needed to push down a little bit more now. Again, it's just rejecting. A lot of momentum is to the top side, so it's going to potentially start breaking the highs once again. I don't know if I'm satisfied with this sort of bump wick. I would like it to push down a little bit more, because if I am taking a second entry, I'm going to use the lows of the bump wick as a stop loss. So if I use this, I can really easily get wicked out. I'm going to have to use the structure lows as a stop loss. So I would like a bump wick, a little bit of a deeper bump wick. I would like it to push down a little bit more, potentially down to even 7.4, and then from there see momentum kick in to the top side. But as you guys can see, the momentum is just to the top side. We're failing to even break below this so far, and this is when you have a lot of momentum in the session. So if we start holding this level now and start to engulf everything to the left, I mean, we can really see a massive push to the top side. Nothing is stopping us from going all the way up, nothing whatsoever. But I would like to see a deeper pullback though. It would be better. Let's just see how it plays out. Okay, again, seeing rejections to the top side, and this is about to engulf everything to the left. If it does engulf everything to the left, this candle here, then I'll look to see. Until then, just chilling. Again, the 4-hour is starting to come below this area, which is a crucial area for me, 776. I want to see us staying above this area. As long as we're above this area, we should be good. But again, right now there is something else in the equation, which is the 15-minute open. So it's potentially forming a bottom wick, right? As you guys can see, you can't see any massive engulfing bearish candles. So there's nothing that is concerning me. The probability is still to the top side. Unless I see a massive bearish engulfing candle starting to violate everything to the left, at that point I'm going to look to manage risk. Until then, this is that pullback. It's forming a bottom wick to potentially push up. So I want it to come down a little bit, potentially tap our support area. And then at that point, I can say, okay, this is a good bottom wick. So if you can start coming down a little bit more down to 75 from there, start to reject and push up, see an engulfing bullish candle, I'll look to scale in with a position. And I'm going to look to see if I can take 1% risk to this, so scale in with a couple positions and secure 1 or 2 of them and let the rest just run. Because if we can catch gold all the way from down here, I'm going to let the rest of those positions just run all the way to the top side. Okay, tapping this area now. Let's look at the 4 hour once again. Look, it's starting to at this point now reject a little bit as well. So you would want to see some sort of engulfing bullish momentum kick in before violating the structural laws. Look at your 30-minute time frame now. It should not break its own laws either. Unless if it starts breaking its own laws, at that point you start seeing this area being turned into some sort of resistance. It becomes a bit tricky. Until then, this is just a pullback. Looking at the structure, we have liquidity in the market as well. And the only issue is with the 4 hour is this bottom wick. It's not big enough. It's not big enough of a bottom wick, but it's part of the game. Anytime now, we can see that pullback potentially below the structural lows. I'm going to start to look to make a little bit more tight the stop loss. But this is where you can expect the pullback. Price should not break below this. As long as we don't break below 774, we should be good to go up. This is where you can see a pullback too, because it needs to pull back. Again, look at the bearish candles at the moment. We're not seeing one massive candle engulfing everything to the left. If we see something like that, you can be concerned. So now as soon as I see an engulfing bullish candle and see momentum to the top side, I'll be looking to see if I can scale in. Because again, technically this becomes your pullback until you start to break below structural lows. And so look at this engulfing bullish candle now, starting to come in. Yeah, this is starting to look good, honestly. If it can start, I want to see a close on this candle first though, because it's still open. It can potentially reject. So I want to see how this closes first. Then might look to scale in with a position. But I want to see a close first. See how this one closes, because technically it can be a retest to push down a little bit. Hopefully now we can start seeing some more momentum kick in, and the 15-minute can start rejecting as well from the downside, because if it starts breaking its own lows again, then you're just forming new lows. This is when you are expecting a rejection now. You want to see us starting to go above this support area, start turning this into some sort of support, not into a resistance. At that point, again, this is it. Momentum's kicking in. At this point, not to the top side. It's looking good. It's looking good so far. So far, so good. But I want to see another close on the minute candle. I want to see a close above here. I want to see a close above 775. Because we're tapping into this 775 area. I want to see a close above there. I want to see a nice close above there. Start retesting it. And start pushing up. Still waiting for this position now. So I want to see a nice close above this. Otherwise, this can technically turn into a resistance to push down. And 15-minute can start breaking its own lows again. Because you are within this consolidation at the moment. So I want to see high confirmations before I take any more positions within this consolidation. But if this was a 1% risk position, I would be waiting for this consolidation to break. Because would not be taking any sort of high risk positions within this consolidation. I can take impulsive positions on a dynamic risk, because at the end of the day I will still come out profitable. Let's say if I was to get wicked out on even 2 or 3 of them. But a 1% risk position, you will lose a lot of money if you take it within a consolidation. But the benefit of dynamic risk position, same thing happened yesterday. You guys saw us getting wicked out twice at the start, and then towards the end we caught about how many pips, guys, here? I think about more than 200 pips, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Same thing we're looking to do today. Because gold is so choppy now, I'm really chopping down my risk, and I'm starting to use dynamic risk. Because look, you understand, this is December now. You literally have January approaching as well. So I'm really looking to start taking multiple positions with really low risk. because you're not going to see any sort of crazy moves happening on gold as often. Now you will see, but not as often. So again, coming to the lows, if we start breaking these lows, it's going to stop me out. It's going to stop my dynamic risk position now. But again, expecting a pullback so far. We start breaking above 775, we should be good to go up. This is still a pullback, so now at this point I potentially can be forming a double bottom down here. So you want to see rejections start to kick in. But if you just see these sort of tiny bearish candles, I'm going to honestly wait for this to break, retest, and then potentially if momentum kicks in, then sales can make sense. Until then, again, you're just consolidating once again. I'm really not looking to take anything now until we start breaking below the consolidation or above the consolidation. Let's see how this plays out though. Okay, again, rejecting from the downside, still respecting these lows, and now we should see an engulfing bullish candle if there is a lot of momentum in the market. Otherwise 7 minutes. I have to wait for the 7 minutes, but this is where you should see a lot of momentum kick in though. At the moment, looking at these candles, really tiny candles, still want to see a momentum candle, but this is where you should start seeing an engulfing bullish candle starting to break above 775. As soon as we start clearing 775, at that point we should be good to go up. It's the 775 area we need to clear. So I am looking to take a position above 775. Until then, I'm just going to let it do its thing and consolidate. But this is when you should see a lot of momentum kick into the top side, honestly, and start breaking above 775, and we should be good to go up. Should be good to go up. Let's see though how this candle reacts, because you should see a really big candle at this point, honestly. And I'm going to look to scale in from down here. I really want to see how price reacts around here. Are we going to tap this and start going down? Or are we going to just clean break through this? That's what I'm looking to see. I'm going to look to scale in a little bit here though. Just open up magic keys at this point now. Because look at the way candles are starting to again die down as soon as we approach this area. So if you see a massive break below this, at that point you are potentially going up, because you should not be breaking below this. I'm going to look to scale in up here with the second entry. But until then, first of all, we need to wait for this to break. For me, I need to wait for this to break, because this is the rejection area that we do have. After this, if we can start breaking and see a clean break above this, start closing above this, start seeing this area turn into some sort of support, at that point we're coming up. Until then, this can just turn into that pullback area, and sellers can again take control to drive the price down, because you are within a consolidation. See, again, seeing rejections from here. This 775 area is really crucial. So again, the bearish candle hasn't engulfed anything just yet. So if this bullish candle starts breaking above it, it technically becomes your pullback candle. But I still want to wait above 775. I'll have a lot of confidence. Till then, just sitting on my hands, man. But yeah, stop losses are always going to go below structure lows, like down here, but like a couple pips below the structure lows, to give it a little bit more room to breathe. And technically the second entry will be taken up here somewhere. Let's see how it plays out. This is the new 5-minute open now. With this, either you should see the structure lows being violated or us pushing all the way to the top side. But you guys can see you're starting to see rejections from down here. So price has no business breaking the lows of the previous 5-minute candle either, unless it wants to push down. So let's see how it plays out. So this was about half one. These were the highs formed, and now we're approaching the lows again. If we don't break the lows, this becomes a pullback. Where is the area? The pullback area is right here. So now let's see what sort of momentum we get. If we see a momentum kick to the top side, then guess what? This technically becomes a pullback. We have one confirmation, just a little bit of a rejection. Now the next confirmation should be the break of 775. Until then, this can start forming new lows and low highs and start breaking below these lows here. And then you can see a massive push kick into the top downside. But until then, just need to wait for this. This over here can turn into that pullback area to start taking all the way up. But again, today I'm really going to chill, because the way gold is moving nowadays, really going to chill. not going to enter even if these are dynamic risk entries. I'll take one just to see how it plays out if the confirmations are there, but really gonna wait for those extra bit of confirmations to take any more entries, because gold, the way gold is like reacting nowadays because of this month as well, the momentum is really low. This becomes your pullback now. You want to see 775 starting to break. You want to see a clean break above this, and you want to see a close as well. Don't want to see just a retest. I want to see a clean close above this area here, and then from there, let's see if we can take it all the way to the top side. But this should turn into that pullback area. Should not break below the structure lows, which are all the way down there. This should be your pullback, and you should start breaking above this and start turning this into some sort of pullback. That's what we're looking to see. And then from there, we should not come down anymore. Another 3 minutes, hopefully we can see something happening. The 15 minutes should start rejecting now as well. There we go. Still haven't violated the lows. It's starting to reject. The next bit of an area is 775. Need to see a break above 775 and a nice clean break, not just a tiny retest. Above 775, some orders are going to get executed for sure as well. These were the first bit of orders executed, and then you guys can see it didn't do much whatsoever. So above 775, I'm going to be looking to take a trade over here now. Let's just see how it reacts though. Just turn magic keys on as well. Again, just tapping it. It hasn't broken it just yet. I would want to see a clean break and close above this. And in the next 2 minutes, potentially you can see a lot of momentum kick in. So hopefully if we can start breaking this now, and then the next 2 minutes we can start forming that bottom wick, start respecting these lows to start pushing up. Right now we're just in a mad consolidation, so let's see if we can break out of the consolidation in the next minute. Then potentially can start taking trades. Until then, just one tiny dynamic risk position. Another minute left. Hopefully with that we can see some momentum kick in and start breaking. Just really choppy price action at the moment. I think the only reason we even got this push was because of the news. That's what it was. Again, 775 is still holding. This area is still holding at the moment, and we are just consolidating within this range. So you want to see a break either to the downside or the top side, and then we can start to expect some sort of moves playing out. At the moment we're just literally just consolidating within this range. So this is the new 30 minutes open now. It needs to form a bottom wick, has a little bit of a bottom wick. Let's see if it can start breaking above 775. Again, with the 30-minute now opening like this, I'm not going to take an entry. I'm going to first see how much of a upper wick it wants to create and see how it reacts around 775, because 775 is really crucial. Okay, it's starting to clear 775 now, so we should see a massive push to the top side at this point now. Either that or we're going to start rejecting to form that bottom wick. So let's just see how it plays out, honestly. So far so good though, looking good at this point now. But let's see how this minute candle closes as well, because it needs to close above 775, and then the next one needs to start breaking the highs as well. Then I'm going to look to potentially scale in from down here. Let's just see how this closes, because potentially is forming an upper wick to start coming down, right? You got to keep that in your mind. So I want to be extra bit careful here. But if there is momentum, then guess what? We're going to go straight to the top side. So again, closing below 775. From here can potentially start coming down, because the bottom wick is really tiny on this 30 minutes. I'm going to wait for another close, honestly. Not looking to do anything right now. 775 still closing within the range. So now look at this retest. Let's see what happens. At this point again, if we start turning 775 into some sort of support and start breaking its own highs once again, the 30 minutes, potentially at that point we can start look to go up. So I'm going to potentially turn my magic keys on, and now we start clearing 776.09 and start breaking the highs, these highs again for the second time, because this is when we should start seeing the pullback start from this area here. This is when you should see the rejections kick in now. When we start clearing above this, we're going up now, because at that point you're not expecting price to come down to create a bottom wick, deeper bottom wick. But this area here should not be broken. If we start breaking above this, we're coming up. Honestly, we start breaking above this, we're coming up. I'm going to look to scale in here now. Let's see. I want to see aggressive break as well, not just a tap. I want to see actually aggressive break above this now, honestly, because this should start forming the bottom wick. From here we should start coming down to form a bottom wick, but we start clearing this area, we're coming all the way to the top side. This is the area now. Let's see, because we're literally forming 775 as a support. We should start breaking above 776, and you want to see aggressive break, not just a little tiny tap. But otherwise, this is the area. From here we should start forming the bottom wick, otherwise we're coming up. Yeah, you know what, I'm actually about to jump into this now. Honestly, it's looking good. Let's see if we can. Oh, let's go. Start breaking that. Let's go. Another push to the top side. There we go. It's looking good now. Another push. And we should start clearing this area now and start just holding this area as a support. Let's see now. Are we going to start retesting this? Let's do a retest of this and start breaking up. And I'm in. So this should become that retest. Now it has no business breaking its own highs whatsoever. No business. Otherwise I'm in. It should not have any more business. It should not have any business breaking its own highs. It should come down from the bottom wick. Otherwise I'm in now. Let's go. Magic keys ready. Okay, it has no business breaking its own highs now. If it does, I'm in this trade. This is my second entry now. I'm in this. This is it. This is that nice retest, but I want to see the highs being broken. Let's break the highs. Let's break the highs. This is that momentum candle. But the highs need to be broken, honestly. It needs to break the highs. And I'm in this now. This is it. Okay, I'm in this. I'm in this now. I'm holding this now. Let's see how it plays out. I got 2 entries at this point now. Let's just see how it plays out. Let's just see how it plays out. Again, everything played out. Waited for this. Now the top side of the consolidation is all the way up here. From there we can still see a rejection. So now let's see if we can start closing above here. From here, this is the last bit of an area now. Look, we tapped into this resistance. From here you can expect pullback. This area is still being respected. As I said, 775 is being respected. From there technically we are going to go up, right? And now look, we had an attempt to form a bottom wick. This was our attempt. We failed to form a bottom wick. So at this point now, if we break out, we need to either break out of the consolidation. If we start going down again, we are just stuck within a consolidation. So I'm looking for more entries now as soon as we start to break above the consolidation. So this is the highs of the consolidation. We should start breaking above this now. Start turning this into some sort of support. We should be good to go up. Should be good to go up. Let me just take this out for now. We should be good to go up above here now. This is the last bit of an area we are approaching. These are also your 30-minute highs as well. What business does price have breaking its own highs once again unless it wants to go up? So as soon as we start breaking above this, we're going all the way to the top side. Let's just see how it plays out though. This is the last bit of an area now. Let's see if we can see a nice clean break above this. This is the only area that we can start rejecting from these highs. As soon as we start clearing these highs, we're coming all the way to the top side. These highs are this is the only area now. These highs over here, and then after that we got the next pullback areas approaching as well, but obviously that's just normal, right? But so far so good. Again, forming a double bottom down here. Everything is just playing out to the T. 775 is being respected as support. We just need some momentum to kick in now. This is the new 5-minute open. This candle should be a rocket ship, should start clearing to the top side. Look at the bottom wick. Potentially can come down to form a little bit of a deeper bottom wick. Look at the previous candle. Massive engulfing bullish candle. So at this point now, honestly, we have no business coming to the downside. If we do start coming down now, we're just consolidating, and it's just going to be a little bit tricky to trade this, because at this point now we should start breaking up to the top side. What business does they have coming down now? It's engulfed everything to the left. So now if this candle starts to engulf the previous bullish candle, we're just going to do a fake out and start to consolidate within this. So we should not be coming down and breaking the lows of the previous bullish candle. At that point, I'm going to honestly look to just sit on my hands and not take any more trades. I'm just going to literally just going to sit on my hands, because I have 2 positions running now. Again, low risk positions, but doesn't mean that I'm going to, you know, stack up just because I have low risk positions running. I want to wait for those extra bit of confirmations. As you guys saw, everything played out to the T and I took a trade. That's how it works. But at the moment, still within this consolidation. And now I really want to see a break of this consolidation for me to actually like scale in with anything else, because we're just still stuck within this consolidation now. But this is when you should be retesting these lows and see an engulfing bullish candle at this point now. Again, why are we pulling back now? Because we have tapped into this area here. This is technically a pullback area. You guys understand this is a pullback area, right? We tapped into this. From here, you're expecting a pullback. But the pullback should not be so aggressive that it starts engulfing everything to the left, right? You should see numerous like bearish candles, like 1, 2, 3 bearish candles, but you shouldn't see a one massive bearish candle engulfing everything to the left. At that point, you're just consolidating and you're going to go to the downside of the range once again. And it doesn't become a pullback. It's just, it becomes that it turns into a move that's stuck within a range. That's what it turns into. Again, 776 is being approached and 775 is below that. We should start respecting these lows and should see an engulfing bullish candle now kick in. Just want to see a lot of momentum kick in now. Otherwise, NYSE is probably the next bit of momentum time. Yeah, it's just coming down once again. This should be that pullback area. We start breaking below this, it doesn't make sense, because then it's just stuck within this consolidation. We should really respect these lows over here now, the 775 lows. Otherwise, it's just consolidating once again, and it's going to come to the downside of the range. These lows here should be respected, honestly. This is that pullback. This should be the low that's respected. From here, you should see an engulfing bullish candle if it wants to go up. Because if it's not a normal move, then it's just going to come down and break these lows. But if this is the normal move, which we are expecting this to be, then you should see an engulfing bullish candle starting to break out of these highs, and then this becomes a pullback. So I'm really looking to see now if we are stuck within a consolidation or if we're going to start forming higher highs and higher lows, because now is the time where we should start forming new highs and should start breaking out of 777, and this should be that pullback move. We should not break below 775. Don't want to see 775 being violated whatsoever. We should really respect 775 and start breaking all-time highs now, start forming new highs. So yes, this again need to break above this now. Until we break above this, we are not forming new highs. So for this to be the next leg back up, this needs to start breaking above this, and then we should be good to go up. And 775 should really be respected. I don't want to see these lows being broken over here. So this bullish candle, really nice momentum candle. As you guys can see, the momentum still is to the top side, but now in order for this to be the leg up, it needs to start breaking above these structure highs and then the next structure highs. So let's see what happens. So hopefully in the next minute we can see the structure highs being violated and us breaking out of this consolidation to go to the top side of the range. So the next minute should do it, hopefully. That's when you're going to see more momentum kick in. Okay, this is the next minute open. This should start breaking up, start breaking these structure highs now, and start breaking the previous highs as well. And this should be that push up now. There we go. There we go. Nice, 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 nice. Amazing, amazing, amazing. This is that push to the top side we have been waiting for. And let's see now. We need to start closing above this area here now as well. We need to start closing above this. And this is the leg up now. Again, see, this whole move to the downside now becomes a pullback if we start closing above this. We need to start closing above this, but technically we have violated the structure highs now, so now this should give us more sort of confirmation to hold these trades, right? But now we should start breaking above 777 and start closing above it as well. We need to start closing above the previous resistance area and start forming a higher sort of resistance now. So need to start closing above this and form a new resistance at this point, a resistance higher than the previous resistance. And at that point, we should expect a rocket ship of a candle, and nothing should stop gold from pushing all the way up. This is a really nice, really nice. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Should start breaking the highs of the previous candle. At that point, we should see a rocket ship of a candle all the way up to 779. There we go, nice. So let me just show you guys how I'm going to be marking out my zones. So if you actually go, let me show you on MetaTrader 5 as well. It's very simple. Let me show you guys, right? Look at the MetaTrader 5. I've got two positions running about 18 pips up, right? So now you need to start marking out, okay, what's that next pullback zone? The next pullback zone is literally here. From here, you should expect pullbacks, right? But if you start clearing this, guess what? Next zone is all the way up here, because gold is not really as volatile at the moment. You're expecting a pullback from there as well. So from these zones, you should be expecting a pullback. I'm looking to potentially take most of the profits out at 1781, but I'll look to secure positions anyway. And I'm going to look to make them risk-free as well soon. But these are dynamic risk positions, as I said. But so far, so good. And again, now look, we're turning this area, and this is when you're going to see a rocket ship of a candle, and we should really start pushing up now, honestly. Next zone that we are approaching, which becomes that pullback zone, is about 778. From 778 we can expect a pullback. From 779 can expect a pullback. As soon as we start to clear those two zones, we're coming all the way up to the daily highs, and the daily highs are going to be hit at that point. And potentially daily highs, I'm looking to hold this till at least like 83, because we can do that. NYSE kicks in soon as well. We got the new 15-minute approaching soon as well. So let's just see how it plays out, honestly. There we go. Wow. Really nice push to the top side so far. Wow, amazing. Nice push. Nice push. As long as we start forming higher highs and higher lows, nothing should be stopping us from coming all the way to the top side. As I said, this will become your pullback zone. And now look, we're starting to engulf everything to the left. Really nice. So we're about to tap 778. From there, we can expect a pullback. If we start clearing that, 779 becomes that pullback area. And we start clearing 779. Obviously, we got next pullback area at potentially about 1780 will be that next pullback area. So let's see how it plays out. I'm up about 30 pips so far. So far, so good. Again, now I need to wait for another 2 minutes, and let's see how it plays out in the next 2 minutes. Up more than 10 pips each position, should be looking to secure profits and kind of making them risk-free in a way. So again, now tapped into the pullback area, so we are experiencing a pullback at this point now, but we should not be breaking below 776 and 775. If we start breaking below 775, we're going to look to manage these positions. 775 should be respected. We should just be experiencing a pullback now. We should not be seeing a massive rejection to the downside, because as you guys can see, we got a really nice push to the top side. Really nice push. At this point, we should just form higher highs and higher lows. And honestly, I might just be looking to hold these positions now. Let's just see how it plays out. Because the lows, the stop loss is all the way below the structure lows. And might be looking to hold these all the way up to the daily highs. Because we've got to form some sort of a bigger upper wick as well. If you start breaking above the daily highs, at that point, you can see more orders being executed. That's the thing. Look at your 4 hour at this point now. Again, 777, this area here. If this area, we can keep holding this area as a support, we're going to see a rocket ship of a candle now. This is a new 15-minute open now. This should give us more momentum. Potentially needs to come down to form that bottom wick, right? Could see 776 being tapped. But if there is a lot of momentum at that point, we might just start to rocket ship now. Start breaking all the highs and start clearing 778. And then obviously tap 779 to form that bottom wick. So let's see how it plays out. Just depends on the momentum now. But most probably you're going to see a lot of momentum kick in at around NYSE now. That's when you're going to see a lot of momentum kick into this session. So let's see. Can you show MT5? Yeah, did show MT5. I want to take more positions, guys, so I need to kind of like have my screen on the other screen. I need to have the whole MetaTrader 5 because I'm looking to take dynamic risk positions, but I'm in profits right now. I'm in profits. I was showing MetaTrader 5 to you 2 seconds ago. Go back to the video. You can see the entries, but I need to take more positions, so I can't have MetaTrader 5 and TradingView on one screen. Usually I just take one position and aim for partial TPs. I can do that. I can afford to do that, but right now I need to really be focused. So unfortunately I can't. because these are really high probability trades we are within. So as I said, I will be looking to capitalize on these profits, right, when we can make more profits. Because look at this now, the pullback area is holding. We have the bottom wick on the 15-minute. At this point now, we should start breaking above 778 and push all the way up to 779 hopefully. So again, I've showed you guys how to mark your zones. It's really simple. Go on your 1 minute time frame. Look at this. This here rejection area becomes one of your pullback zones. We're seeing a pullback from here. Next pullback zone is all the way up there, and then we got the next pullback zone approaching. So this should not be scaring you whatsoever. These are just pullbacks. But as I said, I can't show the MetaTrader 5 just yet because I need to capitalize on these positions. But you guys seen my entries. I'm in profits right now. My first position's up about 20 pips. Second one's up more than 10 pips. Looking to secure profits as well and make them risk-free and scale in with more positions soon. But so far so good. NYSE is kind of when I'm expecting some more moves to kick in now. That's kind of when I'm expecting the moves to kick in. But if you took like a 1-to-1 position, you should have your TPs hit soon. But there we go, we're starting to break the highs again. As soon as we start breaking these highs now, we'll come in all the way up to 779. 1779 should be the next area. From there potentially can see a pullback, but we start clearing the 1780 is being tapped. And then if we can stay above 775 with NYSE, we can probably see a really nice push to the top side. But we need to start breaking above these highs now and start clearing, making that next leg up to 779. We just need momentum to kick in now, and then we should hopefully see these highs here being cleared as well. And then at that point, 779, as soon as we start clearing the gold is coming all the way up to the daily highs. Honestly, 779 is that last bit of a pullback area, because again, as I said, there is not a lot of momentum in the market nowadays. You're going to see a lot of pullbacks. Gold's going to move in like, you know, wavy sort of structure, right? But yeah, let's just see how it plays out. Someone said risky for buyers. These are risky? Really? Everything's risky if you don't know what you're doing. Okay, 778 is about to get tapped. Look, we're about to break these highs and make this new leg up. And then from there, 779 should be hopefully getting tapped as soon as we start breaking above this. But right now, you're just retesting this. You're not breaking above this. So I want to see a break above these. A break and close above these. At that point, we can start aiming for 779. That should be our next target, 779. But as soon as we start clearing 779 and see a clean break above 778, I think we should be good to go up to daily highs. And hopefully with NYSE, we can see that. Until then, we might just see pullbacks and might just see gold just consolidate now. Because look, it's formed a new range at this point, right? This is the top side and this is the downside of the range all the way down here. So as long as we're above 775, though, we should be good to go up. I don't want to see gold coming below 775. That's that one key area I do want to see being respected. As long as that's being respected, you're not going to see anything crazy. Again, the momentum starting to die down now, so you're not really going to see any sort of insane crazy moves. But now if you see 775 being violated, at that point you can see obviously us coming all the way down. At that point, I'm going to look to take out more profits and just kind of like take out, there we go. This is that nice push to the top side. We're clearing 778 now. 779 should be coming up at this point now. Really nice push to the top side. There we go. This is that rocket ship of a candle we were waiting for. 778 has been cleared now. At this point, 779 is the next target. So 779 is the next target now. Let me show you again, guys. We start clearing above 779. We're going all the way to the top side. Honestly, this is the next area. I'm up almost 50 pips at this point now. 779 is the next target. 779, you can expect a pullback from here now, this resistance area, a nice pullback because you had such aggressive push to the top side, right? But we start breaking above this area here, 779 point, what is this? 779.29. We're going to see a massive push to the top side. Massive push to the top side. But yeah, really, so far, so good. So far, so good. Amazing trades. So again, expecting another pullback now, and let's just see how it plays out. But obviously along the way, secure profits, you know, make it risk-free, whatever you guys need to do. Don't be greedy. If you're up these many pips, don't be greedy. Greed kills. Great kills. Again, we haven't seen a clean break above 778 yet. This is the new 5-minute open. You saw with the 5-minute open, it had such a massive push that it had to come down to potentially form the bond wick, right? So as long as we're above 775, as I said, we should be good to go up. But if we start closing below 775, it becomes a little bit tricky. I would not want to be in this trade if we start closing pretty much below these structure lows over here, that because this hourly candle should start breaking and start engulfing everything to the left. If we start tapping this resistance level and see a massive rejection to the downside, at that point I'll be concerned and we'll be looking to take out my positions. But until then, so far so good. As long as we are above these structure lows, we should be good to go up. Again, gold is not going to do anything crazy, so it will take its time, but eventually we should get our move, eventually. But yeah, along the way, secure profits, make it risk-free, and yeah, just have fun with this journey. But again, as I said, profitable trades today so far. But technically, you can see sales playing as well, so that's why I want to be really cautious around that area. Really careful around the 775 area. Because we start coming below it, then you can see sales playing as well. But now I'm really waiting for NYSE to come in and just drive price all the way to the top side, just like skyrocket. I want to see NYSE just skyrockets the price all the way to the top side. That's what I'm looking to see, honestly. And we start clearing 779, I'll be a happy man, because that's the last bit of a rejection area. You have a lot of orders sitting up there. From there you will see a massive pullback, which is expected, honestly, the 779 area. But once you clean, like see a clean break above it, you're going up. But now you can expect some sort of deeper pullbacks now, because you have a lot of orders sitting up here. You guys can see a lot of orders are sitting up here. This is that area which we are still respecting. So from here you can see a really massive push to the downside, as you guys can see. But if we respect 775, we should be good to go up. But again, expecting pullbacks from here, so it should not really scare us, because again, we have liquidity in the market. You guys can see everything is good. So far so good. That's why we secure profits and let the rest run. So far so good. Daily is still rejecting, and as long as we respect the lows and start forming, just keep on forming high highs and high lows, we should be good to go up. And hopefully with NYSE now in the next 7 minutes, that's when you can see the next leg up now. I think until then, it's going to be hard for us to break this area, because you have a lot of sell orders up there. I mean, of course, it's gold. You can still break it. I'm not saying that we can't break 779 before NYSE, but I'm probably gonna expect it to break after the NYSE. Might see some sort of a pullback during NYSE open, and then later on start to break it with that momentum. Because you guys gotta see, again, look at your candle. Kind of did capitalize on this candle now, but look how much it has pushed so far. It's only pushed about 50 pips now. This is a really volatile session, and this is all we've done, pushed 50 pips literally. That's all we have done, and this is a really significant area as well. So let's see. Because there is not a lot of momentum, you don't want to see the pullbacks to be like really aggressive. But the one thing I can see happening though is, because of this bond wick, it's really tiny bond wick, can start to see these lows being broken to potentially from there push up during like NYSE. But let's see what happens. Let's just see what happens, man. Another 6 minutes left, hopefully, for the NYSE. I really do want to stay above 775 though, that's for sure. Because if we start breaking below that, it's going to become a little bit tricky now. And the pullbacks are going to be really deep at that point. From here, you're expecting a pullback, but above 775. We need to stay above 775. 775 needs to be respected. But technically, until you break below 773, you are good, but I would like this area here to be respected. But this is why are we expecting a deeper pullback from here? Look to the left as well. You guys can see really strong area, and usually from here you do see a bounce up, so this can be that turning point area. But I think 775 can be retested, because that's that key area. From here we can grab some orders to start pushing up. So let's see how it plays out. Because now my positions are tinier, because obviously you got to secure profits, make your positions tinier. I might look to scale in with another position if I see more confirmations. But I just have to wait now. Another 4 minutes left as well. See, all of the pullback areas are being respected. So when you understand these areas, you can start securing profits at these areas. And then at that point, it becomes so stress-free. Not scared to hold this at all. Because you're taking out your profits, you're making it risk-free. It becomes really, really simple. Really, really simple to trade. So look, still forming higher highs and higher lows. It's a new leg up now, obviously from here. Significant area here, expecting pullbacks. These are your pullbacks, and let's see what happens now. Still respecting 775, and we are still above 775. Another 4 minutes left as well for the NYSE. Let's see what happens with the NYSE open now. That's when you can probably see something playing out now, either the buyers or the sell. But with the NYSE, you're probably going to see that. Gold. Guys, do you guys remember those 2 weeks we had? Remember? And those 2 weeks I'm talking about.
Which one?
Remember those 2 weeks we had consolidation going on for 2
Oh
weeks?
my god.
Yeah.
As soon as it did that, it was, yeah.
This literally is about like the same thing as well. But did you guys secure profits up there though, right?
Yes.
Yeah, nice. But again, honestly, as I said, we're not going to see like crazy moves anymore this month. So I'm going to be trading this way now. Dynamic risk positions, secure profits, let it run. Secure profits, let it run. Secure profits, let it run. And then scale in with more positions. Because I think it will become a little bit tricky now to take one trade a day. Because of all of this consolidation. Because let's say if I had an entry up there, do I really want to hold a drawdown with a 1% position? Not really. But if I have like a tiny position here, 0.2%, I can hold a drawdown for even like 30, 40 pips. It doesn't matter. That's the thing. So I'm really looking to see if now this month we can change our approach of trading and then just start trading this way. Because look, this way is working out literally to the T, right?
Yeah.
And it becomes really simple for us to secure profits. I'm going to look to see if I can scale in now off the NYSE. Depends though. It really depends. Really, really depends. Because with NYSE, we should see the next push to the top side now. Because this 775 area should be respected. We should not turn it as a resistance. We should start clearing the 775 area now. And we should see another push to the top side with the NYSE open now. And I think this might just be it now. It might just be coming up now, honestly. Let's see. Let's see what happens. Another minute left for the new NYSE open. $30 seconds left. Let's see what happens in the next 30 seconds. I can see it potentially coming down, breaking these lows, forming like a deeper bottom wick, tapping into 774, and then from there bouncing back up as well. I can see that, but if there is a lot of momentum, I'm just gonna see it. We're just gonna see a push up, straight up. Because look, still are respecting 775 technically, still are not breaking below it. But with NYSE, we'd want to see some sort of a push to the downside, right? Because what's happened with this 30-minute as well, there we go, it's starting to make an upper wick now. It needs to kind of come down a little bit before pushing up, in my opinion. It will be better. It will be better. But all your candles are basically, look at the way the candles are closing as well. This one closed above the previous body. So far, so good. On the 30 minutes, you can see as well. This one closed above the previous candle's body. But again, these candles are just really, really tiny. Now you have formed a bottom wick again. You can expect something now. Either you're going to see the sells playing out now or the buyers. Either way, something's going to play out now. And let's see. Might be looking to scale in with more positions. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to lower down risk to 0.1% now because we've secured some profits. Let's see if we can scale in with 0.1%. But this way, what I'm going to do is secure 50% at 1-to-1 and then just keep the stop loss open to potentially just let it run. At this point now, you would want to see the bottom wick is done now. Let's see what happens, because potentially, you know what, below here a lot of sells. There is a lot of potential for sells as well below this. That's the thing. So might be looking to scale in, but let's see though. Let's see. because we literally have like 30 minutes left now for our session. It becomes a bit tricky, that's the thing. It's forming that bottom wick now. Again, as I said, it needs to break the lows of the previous 30 minutes to actually form a sustainable bottom wick. Now we actually do have the sustainable bottom wick. So if it starts breaking its own highs now, at that point we can see our momentum kick to the top side. Honestly, we can see gold is pushing up now, because the only reason I think it had to come down was because of this bottom wick, right? And then this was that significant area which pushed gold all the way to the downside. So I think this is now when we can start seeing a lot of crazy momentum kick into the top side. If we start clearing 775 again and start, you know, turning that as a support area, I think this might just be it now with NYSE, either to the top side or the downside, because the move we caught before was just a move within the consolidation. So let's see now once again what happens. It's still below 775. If it starts breaking below these lows, I can really see us coming down to the previous lows to retest them, and we start violating them, we're going all the way downtown. But I would not be looking to scale in just on the break. Let's see, I might not even be looking to take a trade at this point now, because we've had 2 trades, they worked out, and we got about literally another 28 minutes left, and then our session ends as well. So it becomes a bit tricky. Don't want to overtrade, because you can tend to kind of like overtrade when you're using dynamic risk positions, because they are so low risk. So you can just start taking positions and positions and positions. But again, you got kind of like have that healthy balance as well with dynamic risk. 2 positions with dynamic risk, no problem whatsoever. I usually give myself about 5, because you're going in with really tiny risk. But I think from here now, if we honestly respect this and start turning 775 into support again, the bottom wick is done as well. At that point, I can really see us creating that next leg back up, because this was a really significant area here now, and we are literally just repeating this same thing again. Tapped into this area, this was that area. As I said, from here you can expect really deep pullbacks, because look, from here, this is the area where we formed a low from. So now either this area is going to do the same thing, form a low, or we're going to start breaking below the lows and turn into resistance, and then the sells can play out as well. So we'll just have to wait and see now. But this is when you should really see something playing out. NYSE. So again, tapping the lows now, and you're seeing a little bit of a rejection, and potentially, let's see if we're going to start forming a double bottom here, or we're going to start violating this, and then the sells can play out. But again, with sells, I'm going to be a little bit careful though. Cool. Okay, starting to break these lows now. Let's see what happens. Okay, look, it's retesting the highs as well, and it's starting to break below now. So unfortunately, my dynamic risk positions were tapped out when it started to come down, right? But can, as I said, can take more positions if it makes sense. Below this, sells make a lot of sense now. This is like clean range to the downside. Oh, I see you guys scaling in. For me, it's way too impulsive to scale in just here. I would want to see a pullback to scale in. It's way too impulsive for me to just scale in here. I want to be extra bit careful now, because did take 2 positions, they worked out. Now don't need to kind of like, you know, take more positions, even though yeah, it can really nicely work out now. Want to be super careful, right? And I'm going to lower down my risk to 0.2% as well, 0.25, if I was to take another position now, because I'm really not willing to take any more risk. This is basically now me playing with the profits. Now you would want to see a pullback. Let's again look at the hourly time frame. Pretty much you have a nice bottom wick on the 30 minutes as well. So let's see now what happens. Man, but if the sells play out, I don't know if they're going to play out, but if they do play out, now we start breaking below this, it's going to be insane push to the downside. But again, this is not, as I said, no impulsive entries on a sell position for me. Never ever. It's just pushing all the way back up again. Still want to wait though. See how this plays out now. Am I pushing? I just go. Okay, let's see now. 773 being approached at this point now. What's gonna happen? Look at your daily candle as well. You're below the support area once again. Can we hold this support area now? Like start turning into some sort of resistance and a lot of momentum starts kicking into the downside. I could see that happening now, honestly. If this bearish candle becomes like really aggressive at this point now, I can really see that happening. And then potentially the sells can start playing out, but this technically becomes your pullback, right? So let's just see how it plays out, man. Want to be super, super careful though. Let's see how the next candle opens now. Magic key is open, guys. I think we start breaking below this. I might look to scale in with a sell position, honestly. Oh, hold on a second. Wrong button. Why did I click partial TP? Okay, open key. Okay, I think sells might play out if we start breaking below this. But I want to see how it reacts because they might just tap it and then start pushing up. I'm going to be extra careful here. I'm going to be extra careful here though. Okay, I got one position here now. Again, scaled in with the sell position there. Oof! It just went right past my TP. Whoa! Oh, I got 70 pips in a second. I got stopped out, guys. Oh, whoa. Look at this. Ho. What the hell just happened? Oh, snap. Oh, snap. Ho. Man, look at those cells just playing out as well. Wait, it just went right past my TP. What's just happened? 80 pips in a second. Whoa. Yo, these cells played out crazy. Oh, snap. Whoa, did I even secure anything on these cells? I don't even think
I hope you did, bro.
I don't know, bro. I don't know, actually. Okay, shows I
had to
secured.
press the partial.
Yeah, because it dropped so quickly. It dropped so quickly. Oh my god.
Dude, I'm up 60 pips right now.
Bro,
Well
first the
done.
buys played out and then the sales played out. Wow. Whoa, I'm up 80 plus pips now. Oh, wow. This was insane. Look at this push to the downside. Oh, man. This is the quickest move I've secured most, actually. But whoa. Told you guys, if this becomes a pullback, start breaking below this, I'll scale it in. Oh, wow. I think we saw like more than 80 pips. That was insane. Whoa, that was insane push to the downside. Yeah, I knew we were coming down for that liquidity on the daily. Look at this now. We're coming downtown, honestly. I think we can still come down a little bit more soon. But I think my positions might be getting wicked up, man. Now but I've secured most of it anyway again.
Yeah.
I'm sick of getting wicked out, man. First the buyers got wicked out and now the sellers are getting wicked out. I'm so sick of getting wicked out, guys. Man, it's like, you know, your trades do play out, but it's just the wicks. It'll wick you out right after. Oof, again, played out nicely, man.
That was sick.
Gold is still bearish. Told you our gold was bearish. Yeah, but we made money on buys and then we made money on sells as well. So for us, gold is bullish and bearish. Yeah, that's the smartest way to trade. You saw us make a lot of money on. You saw us make money on the buy positions. We made it risk free, got tapped out. It is what it is. Got stopped out, and then you saw us make.
That's 2 trades for me.
You just took sells over here, and then the sells play out as well. That's what trading is. We're fluid in the market, guys. Fluid in the market. Once we start holding this area, we can probably come down a little bit as well now. But I'm not looking to take any more trades. But we start chilling below 1769. Honestly, I don't see gold going up anymore.
If it closed there as well. Yeah,
this 1769. Oof, I saw like 80-90 pips in literally a second. I thought, whoa, what's happened here?
Yeah.
That was such an insane move to the downside, honestly. Such an insane move to the downside. One of my positions got wicked out though, at break even, obviously after securing profits. But now the second one, let's see what it does. No, but that's so weird though. I was only able to secure 40 pips and I was up like way more than 40 pips. Ugh, that was mad though. That was a crazy move to the downside. That was actually crazy.
look.
Okay, I got stopped. Yeah, my position got wicked up. Wait, why is it going in minus, guys? Look at this. My stop loss is at break even. Why am I seeing a loss?
Oh,
Whoa.
wow. I saw that.
I see loss on my magic keys. Whoa. And my thing is in minus.
Cut it.
I can't cut it. Is that break even? Oh, wait, hold up. Let me check my MetaTrader 5, please.
D, come on. This is like from last time. This is similar.
Oh no, it's showing me profits here on the MetaTrader 5 though. So why is my
Maybe
magic key
it's
showing
just
me
late.
loss? Let me
Maybe it's just late. It does that.
No, but it showed me minus 2% or something. Let me just
No.
restart. Seriously. Because on the MetaTrader 5 I see wins. Look at that. So why is it showing me loss on my magic keys?
No.
Okay, maybe the magic keys is just bugging out. Let me just restart then.
Yeah.
Maybe just bugging out. That's what it is. Because I saw a big loss on my magic keys. It scared me for a second. And I was going into loss.
I saw it.
Did you
It was
guys not
orange.
see? Did you guys not see a minus though? Minus, yeah.
I saw it. Yeah, minus 67 or something like that.
Yeah, it was a break even. Don't
But
troll
yeah.
me. Don't you troll me today, Gold. Don't you troll me today after taking all these
That's.
wins. Yeah, if Gold wants to troll me today, it's not going to be fun, honestly.
I know you can't be minus because when you hit your TPs, I know you're at break even. So it's not possible unless it's bugging out.
No, it stopped me out at minus 3 pips. Look at that. Yeah, it
Okay,
stopped me.
that's
Yeah.
fine.
Can you see the camera? Hold up, I'll show you.
Ooh,
Wait,
that was scary.
Because I saw minus 2% there. You see that, right? That's the. You see the last position is in minus.
Yeah,
Yeah, I thought. You see, all of them are
that's
blue.
fine.
All of them are blue. So I thought maybe, whoa, what's happened? Did I take all of these losses? But yeah, that last one just stopped me at break even. I think it was just bugging out. That's where it was.
It's
That
cool.
actually gave me a heart attack for a second, though. I was like, whoa, did I lose all of my money? Magic keys is actually scary sometimes, honestly. Really scary sometimes.
Mini stroke.
Really scary sometimes, man. It almost gave me a stroke there. Man, that push to the downside was insane as well. It really did come down, didn't it? Now the 4 hour has that bottom wick as well. The new 4 hour has that bottom wick. Amazing bottom wick. Honestly, I've been so bearish on gold as well, that's the thing, but was looking to see how it plays out. Again though, even though we are still breaking below, we're just rejecting every time. I still want to see, the thing is, that was a really aggressive push to the downside, but I can really see gold pushing down more. That's one thing, right? I can still see it pushing a lot more. Below 69, I can really see us pushing down, like a massive push to the downside. Below 1769. Really want to see this area here being turned into some sort of resistance. Because I just want to see the move playing out, not looking to like execute on it or anything, but I just want to see it playing out. Because at that point we know, okay, now we are broken out of this consolidation. But let's see what happens. But guys, on the YouTube live stream, we're going to call it a day now. We'll be back with you guys tomorrow.